Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Be Unleashed TV. It's your girl, Unleashed Coach on Instagram, and Shalonda to everyone else in the world, okay? To like everybody, get my birth certificate, that type of thing, okay? So today, guys, I just want to come and talk to you guys about communicating with source and communicating with spirit. I get a lot of questions about like, how do you know how spirit is trying to communicate with you, or what is spirit trying to communicate with you, and how can you communicate with spirit to kind of like receive answers and different things like that. Okay, so I do have a list of things here that I'm going to use as my notes. Okay, but the first thing I want to talk about is synchronicities. So a lot of times you hear a lot of spiritual people talking about, oh, I saw 333, or I was driving and I saw a tag and it had 4444 on it. Oh, I'm on the right up. Okay. So there is something to the synchronicities, like the 333, those patterns, those, and they always have to be the same number 3 or 4 times. It could simply be you catching a certain time on the clock every day. Like for the past 4 weeks, I keep seeing 417. Why do I keep seeing 417? Like, what is source or the universe trying to communicate with me for me seeing 417 all the time? For those type of things, I would say Google those numbers. Google what 417, like Google angel number 417 and see what pops up. Not only that, you can add those numbers together. So 4 plus 1 plus 7. So 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 7 is 12. And 1 plus 2 is 3. So then you can also Google angel number 3 and just get a vibration of those numbers and kind of understand what they mean. Threes have a lot to do with your with like expression and your guides being with you. So if you've been calling on to your spirit guides to help you with something, and you start seeing 3s or numbers that equal to 3, that is your confirmation, honey, that your spirit guides is right there working with you. All right, okay, all right. Also, another synchronicity that could happen is like, okay, you're driving, right? And you just happen to see an owl in the middle of the day. It's 10:30 in the morning, and you see an owl drive past your car while you're driving. That is a synchronicity, because it's like that owl was meant for you to see. Okay, like spirit kind of like blew a wind, and the owl was like, ooh, let me fly. And right at the time that you was driving, that owl flew by you. And different times like that, go ahead and Google those meanings. What is the spiritual meaning of seeing an owl? What is the spiritual meaning of owl? Owl, spiritual animal. You know what I mean? Like, look up those things. If you're driving and you just happen to see a deer, and then 2 weeks later you see another deer, and the day after that you see another deer, maybe you should look up what it means when you see a deer, because it's obviously being apparent in your life. So when you see those certain patterns happen over and over and over again, then that is source trying to communicate with you, like, hey, like deers, they mean calmness and clarity. Like, hey, maybe you need to take some time to meditate. Maybe you're moving too much and you need to sit down and meditate and kind of come back to yourself so you can see what it is that's going around you, so you can kind of like process that a little bit better. Okay, next, another way that source can communicate with you is through other people. So like, say your mom was telling you something and you was like, okay, yeah, mom, I hear you. But then somebody you don't know, somebody like you just met at the gas station, y'all chopping it up real quick out of nowhere, and all of a sudden that person says the same thing to you that your mom just said to you before you left the house. Those are messages. You have to be, when you're looking for messages from the universe, let it be clear that you have to be looking. You have to be observant, honey. You cannot just go around like, just waiting for something to pop out the sky and drop in my lap like, yes, here's your answer. It's not going to happen like that. I'm so sorry, but it's just not going to happen like that. You literally have to be observant. You have to be like mindful of the fact that, hey, my mom just said this, and now this stranger that I have no clue where they came from is saying the same thing to me that my mom said to me. So those are other ways that source can communicate with you. Also different people in your life that come into your life. If you start to notice a pattern in your life and you're noticing that the people that you attract in your life and that pattern isn't healthy for you, then that is also source trying to show you something that you need to heal within yourself. That is like ultimately holding you back from moving forward in your life and reaching the type of abundance and the things that you're looking for, and fulfilling your purpose, things like that. So you also want to be mindful, like when it comes to communicating with source, like honestly guys, it just comes down to being mindful to the different signs that are around you. You have to be mindful of the patterns. You have to be mindful of what is being said. You have to be mindful of the way you feel. If you've been feeling a certain type of way one day and then you wake up and you're in a completely different energy, then you need to be mindful of that. You need to take the time out to figure out, why do I feel like this? Okay. One of the easiest ways for a beginner to learn how to communicate with source is honestly through meditation. And it will take a lot of practice. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I used to meditate every day, like all day, every day, maybe 3 times a day, where I just go outside and just sit there and just like be one and connect. It will, when you learn how to like silence your mind, you can actually hear your superconscious actually wanting to communicate with you. You can hear source trying to give you those answers. So if you can actually sit there and meditate on a specific question, and really just sit there and allow that silence to take or overwhelm you, you will receive an answer. You'll be shown something. And if you allow yourself to be open to it, you will be shown something. You will feel something. You will feel like, yeah, that's what I need to do. Or you'll be like, you'll see something along the lines of, like, if you're trying to figure out if you should quit a job or if you should stay at a job, and you're meditating and all of a sudden you see yourself working with your coworkers, then that is a sign that maybe you should stay at your job. Like, I know it seems like, oh, it can't be that easy, but it is. It just takes practice. Like, you have to be dedicated to want to have that communication with source, okay? Also, you can ask your guides, you can ask the universe, you can ask source, you can ask your God for a sign. And you don't have to be like, oh, I'm humbly devout to you, I'll accept whatever sign you give me. You can dictate what sign it is. So if you want to be like, hey, hey, universe, I need to know if I need to like break up with this person in my life. If I need to break up with this person in my life, let me see 555s on somebody's tag number. And if you ask for that now, be mindful, be open. When you're driving, keep your eyes peeled to that 555 tag, okay? Keep your eyes peeled. If you never see it, then that's your sign. But if you see it, then that's your sign, like, hey, source told me. You attracted that. You put that vibration out into the universe, and you're going to attract that answer back to you. So if that answer is for you, if you should stay with that person, you're going to see, or whatever, if you're supposed to break up or stay with them, you're going to see that 555. I've had those type of confirmations in my life. And sometimes you just don't know. Like, I was dealing with who I believe is my twin flame in my life, whether we can be around each other or not is not it's not what's important. But at the same time, I asked source, if this is my twin flame, then I want to see a hummingbird. And I knew that I wouldn't just randomly see a hummingbird, because I had randomly seen a hummingbird maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was my first time. So I knew that if I asked to see a hummingbird, then I would have my answer. Now, granted, I did see a hummingbird, but it was not a live hummingbird. It was a picture of a hummingbird. So you have to, like I said, be open, be mindful, because you're going to receive these messages in different type of ways. You may not see a live hummingbird. You may not, if you specifically say car tag, then you may see it on a car tag. But if you just simply ask to see 555s, you may see that on the billboard when you're driving by. You know what I'm saying? And you can also even put a time frame on it. You can even be like, hey, Spirit, I really, really need an answer within 2 weeks on whether I should move into this apartment or I should just not. And you can ask that. You can be like, if I'm supposed to move into this apartment, spirit, let me see da 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 da. Okay, so it's literally that simple. Like, when it comes to communicating with source, guys, it's all about being mindful. It's all about being open to receive those answers. You know what I mean? It's all about your connectivity to source. You know what I mean? If you're truly connected, then you're going to attract those. If you and source have that type of relationship, you're going to attract those answers. Okay. So I know a lot of people are always like, I don't know what 333 means. Or I'll see people saying, every time I look at the clock, it's 3:17. Those are your messages. Research them. You know, a lot of times I'll take it upon myself like, hey, 3:17 means this, and 3:17 equals this. So you might be in a place in your life to da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Make it like, if you're in that transition, be like, okay, that's my confirmation. And keep it pushing. Keep that energy and stay in alignment. Okay? All right, y'all? Okay. Period. But that was just my little helpful tip video for y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll be posting more videos. We're just getting a little advice about how to do this on your spiritual path and how to do that on your spiritual path. Posting more pick a card readings, posting how to be your best self. I'm definitely going to do like beauty tips and just me living my life, being the best I can be, and just staying in my power and showing you guys what that looks like. It doesn't have like a specific definition. You don't have to follow a set of rules, and you don't have to be absolutely perfect. You know what I mean? You can just be as good enough for you as you want to be, okay? And do it however you want to do it, all right? And that's just on period, okay? Okay, friends. All right. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I hope you guys have learned something today. Like, now I hope when you see a triple digit, okay, when you're driving and you just happen to see the number in front of you and it happens to be 4444, I hope you be like, you know what? Our leash coach told me when I see stuff like that, I need to Google it. So when I get home, I'm going to Google what 4444 means. And when I see it, it's going to be like, dang, you want to know something? Yesterday, when I was at the store, it was only 4 pieces of, it was only 4 packets of chicken left. Damn, I didn't even realize that. Damn, and you know what? When I was at work and I went to go get a donut, it was only 4 donuts left. Damn, spirit. Damn, you was all around me trying to tell me that I'm on the right track. I'm building foundations. I'm healing old wounds. Thank you to the 4s. Gratefulness, period. Okay? All right. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next video. Have an amazing day. Peace and love.